All these monkeys. All right. And welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. This is podcast number 35. And yeah, I'm SirFelixTheCat. And with me as always, here's Hawk. How's your day going?
Oh, it's going slow.
You celebrating your feathered friends winning yesterday?
Yes, actually. I mean, I don't follow FUBA, but I used to. And I did like the Eagles when it was a lot more painful to like them. And I am happy they won, so it's pretty dope.
Don't worry, next year they're going to be hated again, just like last time they won, so they'll fit right back in.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
Which apparently the rumor again, because they were doing good again in a season, they're talking about like banning the tush push, the brotherly shove. It's like just get over it. Every other team could do it, so just do it. I mean, yeah, they have an advantage because they have such big players, but who cares? Everybody can do it.
Well, we just have to ban sports. That's what we have to do. Just ban all sports.
Ban the balls from the games. No balls allowed.
Well, some balls allowed, but not the balls.
We can't have men in sports anymore. No balls.
Okay, so just all women's sports. That's fine. Ban sports or have only women's sports. That's I'd vote for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is up, Carlitos? Another fun day. Yeah, what have you been playing?
AC Valhalla. I beat Mirage. That's my first game for the year. It was I don't care if this is too early. It was fucking incredible. I don't know what people were smoking. That the people who played Mirage were like, "Oh, it's terrible." I don't know what they played. Because if you like AC and you've played it since the start, like I have, Mirage is awesome. But yeah, it's been Valhalla, which is it's good. It's very good, but it has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I've only been playing Tales of Graces, and I'm just nowhere in it. Like since last week, I've played maybe 6 hours, and most of that was just grinding in one area.
Oh God.
Yeah, I haven't moved on with life because I have no time to play it.
Yeah, it's been kind of nuts lately.
Yep. Yeah, let's get into the news. So the first one is a story just specially for you.
Oh boy.
There is a new Dr. Pepper flavor.
Oh.
It is Blackberry Dr. Pepper.
Ooh.
Yes, and according to this person, who is Gail Fashionbauer Cooper. So she likes to try new flavors, and she tried the new one. She tried Coca-Cola Starlight, which supposedly tastes like space. Spoiler, it doesn't, and it truly doesn't. This is the one I'm thinking of, because I tried a bunch of their new flavors when they came out.
Yeah.
This is the one that tastes like potpourri.
Oh, okay.
Like it's hard to drink. And the first time I had it, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. But then I guess the second time I actually tasted it, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, she seemed to like this one. Like that's the overall. Like she seemed to like it.
I mean, I want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it at some point.
I want that shit. Back in the day, before our time, Dr. Pepper had a campaign that they put out where you could make it a holiday drink by making it warm.
Yeah.
Drinking warm Dr. Pepper. And I feel like that would somehow taste pretty good. And I want to try it with this.
Yeah, I mean, they did a bourbon-inspired flavor without alcohol.
I don't know if I would like that. I'm not a big drinker, really.
Yeah, it could be good, or it could just be absolute trash.
Spicy Dr. Pepper? That's a sin. Did you ever have that spicy Pepsi?
No. Was it just like cinnamon spicy, or was it like pepper spicy?
It's like it's cinnamon spicy, but it's not that good cinnamon flavor. It's just like a synthetic cinnamon hot spicy, but not good. Or dude, it was terrible. I mean, it's Pepsi, so I don't know why I picked it up to begin with, but it was god awful, dude. So any hot soda just shouldn't be a thing, as far as I've had anyway. Maybe there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pepsi's sadly the kind of go-to now, because people have just turned on Coke, which, I mean, makes sense. They're kind of supportive of Nazis, like current day Nazis in America. So they've kind of been shunned.
I mean, I'll still drink it. I don't care, dude. Coke is so good. I can't switch to Pepsi.
I can't. They're too. We're talking like Trump's border czar level of bad. They're on that level of bad now. So I'm just kind of I've just given up on them. I'm sticking to Dr. Pepper because Dr. Pepper is I mean, they're the doctor.
What, Coke is on that level now? They're that bad?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about Pepsi started a revolution. Like Pepsi actually went to war with a country. Did I ever send you that video?
No, but I was reading about it the other day because they had at one point they had more submarines than most militaries.
Yeah, so at one point Pepsi had like the third largest navy on the planet. And then they also they started a bunch of shit in some, I think it's like a Southeast Asian country. And a lot of people died, and they hired mercenaries and got into straight up gunfights. like neither of these companies are good.
Yeah, they're terrible.
But
I mean, no company
drinks.
is really good. On to gaming news. This is an article that the headline just caught me right away. Wow. I could make Fart Fart Booby Fart the game, and maybe it would eventually get taken down. So it's basically talking about all the slop that is on Nintendo, PlayStation, and they left out Steam, but it's definitely on Steam as well.
Oh yeah, it's on Steam.
Yeah, and it's like they don't understand why this stuff is like still up, like why it exists. Why are they allowing it on these stores? Because really, like if you go to the Nintendo store, since it's like the most unoptimized store ever created, it's just whatever came out newest is going to be up there. Mm-hmm. And it's all that slop. It's just hentai games and nonsense like that. Nobody wants it. Yeah. And basically, if you put out a good game, it could get buried. Like Tales of Graces. Like I had to find out online that like through an article that it was out, and I was like, oh. And then I had to scroll for like 5 minutes to find it in the shop. And it came out just the day before.
Yeah, and you could like search type in the Switch one, but like there's no keyboard or touch. I mean, does it have like a touch function for the keys? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, not mine. Yours does, but mine doesn't.
Oh yeah, you have the light.
I have the stupid one. Yeah. But yeah, this is a plague. I'm tired of these just disgusting like sex pest games that keep just poisoning everything. Yeah. And maybe it would eventually get taken down. I doubt that. I doubt it would get taken down.
I mean, they're also referring to it came out like a few months back. It was a direct like trying to rip off the hype of Last of Us.
Yeah.
For Switch, and it was just a complete just sham game.
Oh yeah, just like shovelware cash grab shit that rides on other people's names. Yeah, that stuff still doesn't get taken down. Like the last. Oh, it should. I mean, it absolutely should. But then again, like, how do you like regulate that? Like, who makes that determination? You know what I mean? Like, what if you and we can't code for shit, but we decide to teach ourselves how to code in like C++ for some reason, and we make this like shit tier, just terrible game, but we pour everything we have into it. I mean, we genuinely try, but people think it's a like asset flip cash grab, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what happens then? Not that that's, a very common case. Most of them are just cash grabs, but who's the arbiter of good video games?
Me. It should all come up to me.
You could email Gaben and talk to him. He usually responds in emails. So
yeah, be like, hey, I'll do it for like, $10 a week. I'll just sit here and just scroll through stuff.
$10 per decision. Come on.
Be a true capitalist. Yeah, this is a conversation more people need to be talking about, constantly just griping about it. And maybe the shops will take it upon themselves, even though they just want to make money, so they really don't care. But
they don't give a shit.
It would be nice if they cared at least a little bit. Or give them like their own box that's in like the storefront that just says like, these are the scam games essentially, but give it like a nicer name.
I mean, the only one that I'm surprised hasn't done anything about it is Nintendo, because Nintendo cares more about their image than the other ones, or more so than the other ones, and it's not a very like family friendly, wholesome image to see like hentai, tentacle, SA, sex pest games on your store.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm sure if I loaded it up right now and went to the store and saw what's new, it's going to be at least 10 of those games right away.
Yeah.
That, and then like the same ones they keep like coming out with new editions of, which don't make any sense. It's the same game, but they're going to call it like this edition now. And it literally has the same thing the last edition does. But maybe they added one green pixel to it.
Or yeah, well, they have a new chick. They add a new anime girl.
Yeah.
That's the new edition.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yep. Yeah, I wish something could happen with that. That would be beautiful.
It would just be hard as hell. And the companies would have to care, and they just don't.
Yeah. But you were talking about a company that sometimes responds and they care to an extent. So since we have this like constant just spur of like early access games, and then some of them just never get completed, they just stay in early access for their entire life.
Yep.
Steam is now putting out just like warnings for it, which is nice when a game's in early access, like a big warning, like, hey, by the way, a lot of these games don't get finished. They never fully release. Basically letting you know you are taking a big gamble with us.
I love this because like I've been cruising around Steam for long enough at this point that when I see a game in early access, I look at when it hit Steam and I look at the updates that they've had. So they have like you could go through every update the game has had, and they display it right on the main page. And I know a lot of people don't think to look for that. And early access games are so common now that if you don't think to look for that, you could easily see a game that's been in early access for like 15 years and the last update was a decade ago,
Yeah, so you're getting stuff like this, like, note, the last update made by the developer was over 13 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know exactly where they're going to put that too. They usually do like little notes like right under the screenshots on the page when it's displayed. So this is really good. I like this.
Yep. Steam's always there to sometimes make people happy.
Sometimes.
And then we have some crazy news. So hell has finally frozen over, pigs are flying, and Square Enix finally admits that a game met their expectations. But not just met them, it surpassed their expectations. I don't think I've heard that my entire life.
No, I don't think
like
that's ever happened.
This company always says like, oh, it underperformed. It only sold 5 million copies. It underperformed.
5 million, dude. 5 million copies is absurd.
Yeah.
They would still say it underperformed though.
Yeah, they absolutely would. But yeah, Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake is the one.
Nice.
Yeah, I was surprised by that because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and 16 both fell short according to their numbers they don't release. Guardians of the Galaxy, it fell short, even though that's a fantastic game and it just wasn't talked about. Like they gave it no attention whatsoever.
Yep.
And then Avengers, we're just not going to talk about that. That's I was so let down by that one. I knew what I was getting into when I got it. I got it when it was on sale at least, so I didn't completely just shoot myself in the foot. But I had to give it a shot, and it just nothing was worth it. Like the costumes weren't great, like the special ones you can unlock, it was all trash. It was bad. I was hoping the story would be good, and it starts off kind of okay, then it just falls off a cliff.
This is pretty cool, especially for which game sold that well, and I hope that we see this again from Square Enix because they are not doing so hot.
Yep.
And they have a lot of IPs that both of us love, so it'd be nice to see them actually make a turnaround here.
Yeah. Start doing good.
Yeah.
And then the Disco Elysium lead says the original Fallout is an RPG that is almost biblical in its annihilation, making other post-apocalyptic world building seem like an amusement park.
Okay.
And I kind of agree with that. Like even Fallout itself, as you go on, it's not as grim as the first one was. Like first one's a terrible, terrible world.
Yeah. No, I think this is a hot take, and I love Fallout 3 and I love Fallout New Vegas. I don't consider New Vegas a part of this because it was not made by Bethesda. Yeah. But Bethesda destroyed the IP. They took it and turned it into something that's not Fallout. If you play Fallout 1 and 2, they are bleak games, dude. Yep. I mean, there's comedy in both of them, more so in 2, but they are horrifyingly bleak, and New Vegas fits in that too. Just, I think not quite as much, but yeah. So if I didn't understand how they meant that with the headline, but yeah, Fallout 1 is one of the bleakest games you could play. Yep.
Yeah, and it's beautifully set up, especially for its time. That was 97.
Yeah.
It was a very, very amazing game.
It still is.
Yeah.
You could buy it from Bethesda. I think you could get Fallout 1 for free on Bethesda's website today.
Oh. Yeah, I got it free off Epic.
Yeah, it's free. It either was free, will be free, or is free. One of all possibilities. It is one of them, at least.
All the above.
It could be two. I mean, it could be all of the above, but get the game, okay? It's really good.
Yeah. Yep. And then, surprising twist, BioWare's Sonic the Hedgehog RPG actually uses Dragon Age Origins dialogue system, heavily streamlined to fit the Nintendo DS.
I mean, it works.
But Sonic came out first.
Wait, so Dragon Age uses Sonic's
the executive producer even said the same thing. Like, you could argue Origins uses Sonic's because Sonic's is the older game.
Hey, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
It works, you know?
Yeah, and I can see, like, making Sonic, like, the test bed for it. Because Sonic is one of those IPs that the fans of Sonic are going to buy it no matter what. Even if it's trash. Like,
oh, yeah.
They're all going to buy it. And when I say they all, I'm including myself in that. Because I fall for that every time. But, yeah, it's beautiful that Sonic was the test bed for something that turned out to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, you find inspiration from unlikely sources sometimes, and I think you see this a lot in video games where a game that has nothing to do with some other game pulled some stuff from that other game because it worked there and someone saw how they could apply it to their own vision. So it's like games share. I mean, art, this is like going into, I've been watching a lot of stuff with AI and art. But all art is inspired by what came before it, and all art borrows from what came before it. So
unless it's the Nemesis system.
Yeah, the Nemesis system, dude. The Nemesis system is a gift from God, and I hate Warner Bros. For holding that behind the gates, dude.
I should have pulled the story up and I didn't. So, Wonder Woman it's in development. And like the people at the studio are saying like, yeah, you know, if this game comes out, and they're supposed to be using the Nemesis system in the game. So it's like, we could be getting it, but also we could just not. So
dude, I don't like Wonder Woman. I mean, she's cool, but like, I'm not a big fan of superhero shit, but like if this game comes out and it has the Nemesis system, I'm buying it. Like day one buying it.
Yep. Well, I mean, you just want to buy it so you can look at her butt the whole time.
Yeah, that's it. No, I don't think I'm Republican enough for that. Let's put it that way.
Well, I said it's a her, not a him.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, sorry, I'm not woke enough for that. Okay. Now, if it was a he.
And then here's a story that made me very upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, Resistance 4 was unsuccessfully pitched to Sony a while ago. And yeah, here we go. We actually have the guy's name. So former Insomniac founder and CEO Ted Price revealed the studio had pitched Resistance 4, but Sony said no. And yeah, his quote on this was, Resistance 4, we did pitch that one, and it was a wonderful concept. It's just that in terms of timing and market opportunity, it didn't work out. But it was the result of a lot of Insomniac team members being passionate about extending the story further. I do believe Resistance has set up a really cool alternative history base where anything can happen. And the Chimera and where they go. Oh, wait, what did I put? Yeah, and where they go and what their origins are. We spend a lot of time working on the backstory and kind of brainstorming where we could go in the future. And personally, I love this franchise. He thinks their idea was really, like the way he put it was really cool. Which, I don't know if everybody's played Resistance. It was a PS3 series. They had one on the Vita. But this is a fantastic little shooter series with beautiful, it is a true beautiful alternative history. Like you have the Chimera coming here and just basically invading the world.
Yeah, I mean, here comes Sony stumbling through the door with yet another PH fat L. Okay.
Yeah.
Sony's real good at looking at great ideas and going, nah, and then doing something stupid.
Yep.
All these companies have been that lately, but Xbox still takes the cake. Let's be honest here. Xbox still takes the cake, but Sony has had really great concepts pitched to them, like stuff that would have been potentially bestseller shit, like really good stuff. And they've just balled it up and thrown it in the trash. And I think this is one of them. Even if it wasn't some crazy high seller, this is something that had a fan base that would have bought it no matter what, kind of like Sonic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the games scored in like the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was different. It's something different.
Yep. Yeah, I got someone who doesn't care for shooters that much to play a shooter.
Yeah.
That's a sign. It's a good game.
I'm still here crossing my fingers for a new Killzone.
Yeah, as long as it's not like the last one. But Guerrilla is too busy with Horizon. So I don't think you're ever going to get that.
Yeah, because Sony has them on that Horizon leash.
Yep. Yep.
God damn, dude.
Yep, it's a shame. It is a shame. And then here's something creepy. So there is now a life-size Gardevoir plush at the Pokemon Center. Now, Pokemon and like its dark history and like the stories people have said about it is way back in the day. Basically, people used to mate with their Pokemon.
Oh.
And this is the most human-like tall one. Like she's he or she. They're like 5 foot. I think it says it here. 5'3".
Okay.
So it's human sized.
I mean,
and yeah, people have always made those lovely hentai images of the Pokemon.
If you look at this thing and your first thought is you want to stick your dick in it, you need psychiatric help. Okay? Stop it. Get some help. Okay? Like, what is this, dude?
Yeah.
Oh man, we were.
Yeah, which is funny is my first thought when I saw it was like, I was like, oh, look it, my Ralts is even bigger now, and it's probably going to be stronger. But other people are thinking like, ooh, I can get with that.
Yeah, my whatever the hell is bigger now too.
Yeah. Yep.
No, this is disturbing. I mean, hey, if you really love Pokemon and you want to spend the probably it's $320 on it, and you have the money to piss away on that, go ahead. Who am I? I don't care. It's a free country.
A real doll is like 1,000 or more, I think. So, I mean,
well, it's a pretty good price. How much does a fleshlight cost? Oh man, no, like if you want to waste your money on this, go right ahead. Who's to judge? But I mean, I might judge a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, absolutely judging. Well, it's like people get those the pillows with like game or anime characters on it, like the full size body pillows, and that's always creeped me out. It's like, why?
Well,
Why?
here's the question. Are you going to judge someone more for buying one of those pillows, or are you going to judge them more for buying one of these?
Oh man, that is tough. Tough. Probably this. I mean, truthfully, I would get one and just have it like chill in the corner, and I would probably forget about it after a week. It'd scare me one day when I come down here with the lights off. But that's only because, I mean, Ralts is my favorite Pokemon, and this is the full evolution of it. So I have a different reason for liking it. Yeah. I'd want all three of them, though, not just the final evolution.
Well, that'd be cool. And like, if you like this Pokemon and you have like a giant collection of Pokemon plushies or whatever the hell, whatever, you know, I'm not going to judge for that. That's just, it's your thing.
Yeah, but, if you keep it in your bed, though.
Yeah, that's where I'll judge. That's where I'll judge. But it looks like Gwen mentioned the Pokeballs, the realistic Pokeballs. Dude, I think I sent you the link for one of them before. I would buy those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh. Wait till they integrate that with a Boston Dynamics robot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen soon. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, like in the next few months. Someone's going to do it.
I can't wait till we have Terminators patrolling the streets. Isn't that going to be so fun?
Yeah. Bought it for a kid and repurposed. Yeah, that would be. Yep.
Mom, what's this goopy stuff? Why is it crusty on the inside? Oh, God.
All right. Off of the creepiness. So, one of my favorite animes is Fairy Tail, and the creator decided to come out in an interview and was like, I'm not entirely sure myself why people are so interested and like follow this anime so much, and manga. He has no clue why it's so popular.
Really?
Yeah, and that baffles me, especially because he made this for like very personal reasons, which he came out in an interview and said last year. Loneliness is what you're seeing. He created this because he grew up and had no friends. So in his mind, he made a group of friends.
Well, I mean, I understand that. Like, if I wrote a song, or if even this YouTube channel, if we blew up or something, or if you, like, let's say we wrote more music and started performing with the band, you know what I mean? And that blew up. I would wonder why. Like, I know what we're making is probably cool, and some people can probably identify with it and stuff like that, but like, I wouldn't understand why it blew up, especially if it's music for our side, like our perspective, because the music that we would come up with is going to be like happy or terribly sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like this falls into the terribly sad side. And why would someone like that? But I think it comes down to they identify with it. And that's where you see this. You see loneliness made into art, and you identify with that. But I could understand where he's coming from.
Yep. Yeah, it's just it's crazy because it is. Yeah, it's one of the best-selling mangas of that genre.
I think that says something. I think it says a lot about the state of things at this point.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's also one that I like, but also there's times where I just feel like uncomfortable watching it because they focus on that a lot.
Oh, just
like it's the one in the game where like I was showing you the gameplay once, and like she'll come out and do some pose, and it's like, why are we doing this?
Oh yeah, that's just I chalk that up to general Japanese creepiness, which maybe that's is that a racism? Is that is that a racism? I mean, a lot of the stuff that they make, man, seems to have that general creepiness to it.
Well, yeah, and they did used to have the panty vending machines and whatnot.
Yeah, Yeah, there's okay, maybe okay.
Just
It's
culturally
probably
different.
just a cultural difference, you know?
Yeah.
Just like a culture. I mean, look at their age of consent. Isn't it super low over there too?
I have no clue.
I thought I read that, like, cause hold on, now I need to. Oh Jesus, now I need to know. Hold on.
Well, keep Republicans away from it if it is.
Well, that's probably why they all like him, dude. Of consent. Whoa! Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. So it's 16 now, which I would say is still young, though we have some states. We have some states here that are 16. It was raised from 13 in 2023, dude.
God.
2023. It was 13 years old in Japan. That is wild, dude.
Yeah, that's a bit much. That's
They're
a bit
freaks.
much.
Let's just be real. Says, yeah, okay. So if Carlitos agrees, then yeah, okay. It's not a racism. they're freaks. And we talked about it's not because we nuked them. Remember that. Because there was hentai made in the Sengoku period. That and the fart battle artwork. Just look that up sometime. The Japanese medieval fart battle art.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. It is beautiful stuff.
It's better than the.
It reminds me of that Switch game I was telling you about, the one where you both players stick the remote control in their butt crack and they like butt sword fight.
Fart bat. Yes, Carlitos. So there is a piece of art from, I think, the Sengoku period, maybe even earlier. And it is a bunch of Japanese people farting on each other, on cats, on, what are they called? Like the spirits in everything. What is that called?
Oh God, what are they called?
Everything has a spirit. And one of them, there's a river spirit that looks like a frog. And in order to banish the spirit in canon, you have to fart on it. So they show that in the artwork too. It's ridiculous. Yep. It's wild. Just look up old Japanese fart battle artwork. Yokai, yeah. Yeah, it's a river yokai that someone is farting on. There's someone farting on a cat, and it's like flying away. It's ridiculous, dude. It's some of the best shit you'll ever see.
Yep. Love history. All right, some more stuff for you.
Oh boy.
Gundam's live action movie begins production.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was announced all the way back in 2018, and it's finally moving forward.
Dude, I really, really hope this is done well.
Mm-hmm. Same. It needs to be good. I mean, I hope they follow the footsteps of Netflix's One Piece, because that one is really good comparing it to the anime. So, I mean, some people have gripes about, oh, well, the main guy doesn't exactly look like him. It's like, who cares? It's close enough. It is close enough.
Who cares?
You're not going to find someone who has that weird of a face like in real life. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I think people are way too picky with a lot of shit, but do we know if they're going to use that giant RX-78 that they made? I hope they use that. Like, yeah, so that's the RX-78, the granddaddy, like the first Gundam.
I would assume at least at some points use it, or I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that. That'd be really dope if they did.
I hope they use that thing, even if it's just for like an action pose or some shit, you know? Like, that would just be so cool to see that actual robot RX-78. But no, I hope if they don't do that, I hope they just CGI the Gundams and mobile suits.
Yeah, like that. What's that one with the giant fighting robots that we like? Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific Rim is trash. I'm like, let's be real, it's trash. But I love those movies. Yeah,
their robots at least look cool, and the way they did it, because they did a lot of research into the areas to make sure if they have the robots fighting on land, they could fit in that spot, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. We've talked about this before. I don't know about on the show, but like you could have the most unrealistic shit that you're showing in a show or a movie or a game, but if it follows an internal logic that works for the world that it takes place in, it works.
Yeah.
It works. So they did their homework, and it worked for those movies.
Yep. You know where it's not going to work?
Oh, God. Where?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, no, that looks like dog shit, dude. That looks so bad.
Yeah, I saw there were like people complaining, like they edited out his stretching abilities in the trailer. It's like, you guys are dumb. Just stop. Just stop.
You're going to have those people who just comb over it and nitpick everything about it.
Yeah. Oh, I just forgot about this. You got to see that movie. It's called The Monkey. It's based off a Stephen King short story. Ooh. It's a horror comedy.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Like they did a good job with it. I wish it was still here, but it disappeared.
I want to see that. I love Stephen King. We both do.
Yep. Oh yeah, there it is again. The monkey.
Oh, there we go. Monkey. Return to monkey. Oh, nice and bloody too. Oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. We got to see that shit.
Yep.
Carlito said, I didn't see that one, or I didn't see one Super Bowl trailer that was bomb. I
saw one that made me want to plant a bomb. It was the first one that came up, and that was Fox News. I was like, you've got to be joking. You have got to be joking.
Dude,
let's just start off the show with Nazi propaganda. Here we go.
I have destroyed my ability to watch commercials. When I watch a commercial, I see the code behind the Matrix, and it just makes me really, really fucking mad. Commercials just enrage me. So I stay away from commercials. It's too consumerist. It's too capitalist. I can't do it, man.
I like the commercials where I can't remember the product. I just remember something that happened in the commercial. Like there was one, and it was like sloths. It was a sloth world. And there was at the end of it, like these sloths were like robbing a bank, and they're running from the cops, but it's sloths, so they're like slowly walking, and the one is in the front, just like, oh, it's just ridiculousness. I was like, that's epic. I don't know what the product was, but you made me laugh for a second.
Well, that's the thing. That's the other part of it, dude. Like back in the day, before us, but the internet exists, so I've seen these. Commercials used to be like, here is our product. It does A, B, C, and D. This is why you should buy it. Name, whatever, product, blah, 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 end of the commercial. That's what commercials used to be. And like, I'd be okay with that. You're still trying to sell some shit, which is stupid, but it's the world we live in. You have to survive. So I get that, but that would be cool. Now you see a commercial and it's seals clapping and like some stupid song playing in the background. And it's for like, I don't know, Doritos or some shit. And you just, if you didn't finish the commercial or see the beginning of it, you'd have no idea what it's for. So it's pointless. It's stupid.
Yeah. Yep. More Gundam news. So my favorite Gundam, at least in manga, is getting a sequel. And I'm very happy about that. G Gundam sequel is giving, I don't even know how to say his name, Domin, a new mech. So in G Gundam, his first Gundam gets destroyed in the battles. So he gets a replacement, which is, I believe it was the God Gundam?
God Gundam.
Yeah, his first one was the Shining Gundam. He loses battle to he got the God Gundam.
The God Gundam.
And his attack is the Shining Finger, which is hilarious to say. But he really just he literally his hand starts glowing and he'll shove his hand through your face, and that's how he wins.
It's crazy.
It's an epic fight. But he's gonna get a new one. He gets God Gundam 2.
That's cool, dude. I want to check this out because I have the Shining Gundam, the real grade Gunpla Shining Gundam on my wish list of Gunpla models that I want to buy, and because it just looks like, look at that, that's so dope. So I've had these, and I think I had the God Gundam too. If they is that the God Gundam?
I think
Or
this
is that
the
the
new one.
Shining? Because it kind of looks like the Shining.
I have to go back and watch it. It might be the God. I think it is. Because I don't think his first one could fly.
Oh yeah, and the center was like the chest was a little bit different on the Shining Gundam. But it looks similar. It's got a similar vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just these Gundams are so cool. I love them so much. So I definitely want to watch this.
Yeah, that whole series is dope because it's completely different than every other Gundam series. Basically, you're the main guy is in a post-apocalyptic world where whoever gets to rule the world has to win the tournament, like for that country. So you have like Neo Japan, Neo America, all these like Neo versions of the countries, and they have to fight in this giant tournament to declare who's going to be the like ruler of the world for the next like 4 years, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, I remember that one now. I remember you telling me about this one, and I've wanted to see it since you told me about it however many years ago.
Yeah.
It's such a cool concept. Everything Gundam is just fucking awesome.
Yep, it is savage. But now here's some more sad news. I'm sorry to break this one to you. So the creator of it decided to say death is in my reach, and he just wants Gundam to be his legacy.
Well, he thinks he's dying soon, so
yeah, because he's old. So he feels he's been in the industry for 60 years.
Jesus.
With 45 years spent on Gundam.
45 beautiful years.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah, he's right, but he wants Gundam to be his legacy.
Yep.
I mean, I think it is. No matter what he comes up with.
Yeah, it's going to be his like most remembered work ever.
Yeah.
But more people also got to know who he is, and I don't think people do. He's not as like who's someone Toriyama. Toriyama was a very like well-known figure in like anime and stuff, especially overseas, like here in America. People know who he is, but you don't really hear anything about I don't know if it's Tomino or Tomino, but yeah, you don't hear about him often.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, with all the Gundam shit that I've been into, I've probably seen his name before, but I don't know his name. You know, I don't think about him when I think about Gundam. And I think we should. I mean, you're right. Everybody should, because wasn't Gundam like the first anime to really hit the United States and stick too? Yeah,
and like blow up. Yep.
Yeah. Like I mean, Gundam is one of like 2 animes that I actually like.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, not Robotron. The heck is it called? Robotech. Came out before, but it wasn't as big. It had a good following for the time, but Gundam came over and basically was like, "Hey, Robotech, move aside. We got something better."
And they did.
Yeah.
they do have something better.
But, oh yeah, I mean, if you had a fight of Robotech versus Gundam, it's a wipe.
Remember we saw that Gundams can hold up in the 40K universe. Like, if something can survive, not even beat, but just survive in the 40K universe, it's super OP.
Yeah, which makes me want to see how would Transformers do, because we saw that at least per death battle, a Optimus can take out main dude.
The RX-78 and whatever his name is, I forget his name. Which is crazy, dude.
Yep.
No, but I want to say that I hope he lives on. But you know, at a certain age, it almost becomes better to go than to stay. And I think his legacy is already cemented, and I just hope people remember his name for it and not just his art.
Yeah. I mean, love his art, because his art is glorious.
Oh God, yeah. Dude, we need a new Gundam game in the vein of Federation versus Xeon from the PS2. I don't do pre-orders anymore. I don't do day one buys, especially for AAA games anymore. Indies I will sometimes if I can, but that would be a pre-order and buy the biggest edition for me. Like I would buy no matter what it was, I would buy the most expensive version of that game.
Yep. Well, if you want to spend money, I did hear that they did make new Gunpla for Gundam.
Oh shit! Don't tell me that, dude.
A whole new wave of them.
I still have like 4 I have to put together.
Yep. Now let me ask you something. What is something that me and you both want to see in comic books? We want to see have happen.
Murder.
Well, what is murder? It is death.
Death. Blood. Just mature themes.
Marvel is about to kill one of its most beloved characters for good. You want to guess who it is?
I'm thinking a different Marvel. Is it Tony Stark? Are they doing that again? Are they?
No.
They're doing that. Spider-Man?
Yep.
Oh shit.
He is about to run out of lives. That's what they're saying. Now, given comic books, and the thing they never do is make death like final. Yeah. It always somehow finds a way back. I mean, Captain America's been killed a bunch of times and comes right back. Batman's died, Superman's died, but yeah, they're talking about seriously killing off Peter Parker.
Like permadeath.
Yep.
No more Peter Parker.
Yep.
Shit. Why him? Who's got it out for him, dude? Like, he's the one I don't want to see die.
Yeah, it will be sad, but he's also been around forever.
Yeah, he's been around since like the 40s.
Yeah.
Or 50s.
He's crazy old. It would be a weird choice to do, but hey, if you want to do it, he does have replacements.
Oh, he's got plenty of replacements. You could have Miles come in as the next like big Spider-Man.
Yeah, just don't tell anybody who wants to talk about woke, because they'll get super pissed off about that. We'll never hear the end of it.
Are they going to deport Miles?
Yeah, they might.
Is that going to be a new issue? Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Spider-Man versus Ice.
Yeah, they're going to go up to him and be like, was your mom born here?
Yeah, even and then he's like, yeah, she was. And then they're like, get in.
Yep. Yeah. And Spider-Man 69. Wait, what? 2022. I'm confused here. On March 12th, but it's 2022. Whatever. Peter Parker will run out of extra lives and perish for real.
Shit, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing that gets me, is because they say for real, so I kind of feel like that's the lie.
Yeah. Carlito says it's never going to happen. I mean, like,
yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep.
I do hope that they actually start to introduce permanence into like superhero shit, because when a superhero dies, it's like we said about Shepard. If they bring him back in the next Mass Effect, it's cheap when you bring them back after they die and their death means nothing.
Yeah, they do the hero sacrifice. Like, that's the whole point of them being the hero in the end.
Yeah.
Like, they're putting their lives on the line, so let them put their lives on the line.
Yep. Yeah, Carlito says no stakes. Yeah, this is part of what I don't like about superhero shit, is that they're never going to lose. And even when they lose, they're still not going to lose. It's like, what is the threat if you beat everything that's thrown at you? I get the idea of a power fantasy. I love Doom. I love Warhammer 40K. You know, I love power fantasies and shit. Even though they're stupid, I get that they're as deep as a puddle. Okay? But like, when you go on for too long with that, it gets boring. Just like I've gotten bored with most 40K shit. We talked about that. I've gotten bored with most of these power fantasy things, and I want to see more personal stories that have permanence in them. So I'd like to see superheroes actually die and then have them be replaced with new superheroes. What a novel concept. I almost said a Marvel concept.
It is a Marvel concept.
Yeah, well, not yet, but hopefully it will be.
Yep. Yeah, I'm really hoping this happens. Really hoping it happens.
The fact that it kind of sucks to say that I hope that it happens is the exact point that I mean with this. Like, I hope that it happens and it'll hurt. And I hope they keep that so that way whatever comes after, if they do pick Miles, which I think is the best choice, or Gwen, Spider-Gwen. I forget
she's dead.
Well,
I mean, depending on which story you're taking off of, she died.
Damn it. Well, I mean, or like Noir, the Spider-Man Noir guy.
Oh, dude, that would be dope if they went back to that story and just focused on it. It's one of the coolest.
It'd be so cool. So just have someone else pick up the mantle.
Yeah. Yep. It would be dope. But yeah. Now let's get on to some fun stuff. So we have this piece of trash right here. So trash bag. Well, this already happened, so I guess I'll just skip through it and talk about it. One of the little kids that he brought on to be his little like hacker team decided to come out and be like, "Hey, by the way, I'm super racist." Yeah, Big Balls. Big Balls came out and showed he had big balls by being racist, saying he could never imagine marrying outside of his own race, and talking about how we should be racist against Indians and whatnot.
What the fuck?
And this guy who's married to an Indian lady decided to come out and be like, we should bring him back. It's not right that we hold it against him.
Dude, these cucks. They're cucks, dude. These little shitbags. These pieces of fucking dirt. Okay. So, no. Okay. Hold on. Okay. They are cucks, and nothing they say matters. They believe nothing, and they will gurgle each other's dicks if it means more power and money. And I'm sick of it, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Vance's tweets today. He came out and said, like, if a judge was to tell, like, the military how to do their job, that would be illegal. And it's just like, you're so stupid. He also basically was trying to say, like, the judges should never be able to tell the executive branch what they're doing is wrong.
So where's the fucking accountability?
They don't want it. They don't want it. They just want to have pure power. And it's like, you guys are insane. Like, you guys are absolutely insane. You're horribly stupid. Like, we're the party of God and the Constitution. Well, why do you do everything you do is against both of those. It's against the Bible 100%. And it's also against the Constitution.
Yeah. Oh, they don't give a shit about the Constitution. I always think that's funny how they tout the Constitution like it's some holy relic that they have to follow to the letter, and they don't even know it, dude. They don't even. Trump ran
against it. Like, Cheeto that was half his thing, was like, I want to get rid of the Constitution, and people were cheering for that. His sycophants cheered for him at the rallies whenever he talked about getting rid of the Constitution.
Well, here's the thing. I'm the history guy. Okay, I'm the most historyest of history guys. Okay, and I don't mean just studying wars and shit. I'm talking real history. All right, what we see throughout all of history is that dictatorships rise real fast and real hard. A lot of people get fucked, but they almost fall as quickly as they rose. So what you're seeing here is what I've talked about. I know I've talked about it with you. I've talked about it with my wife. I never shut up about it with anyone that I can talk to about it, is that these people are going to push so far that they will turn the general people against them, and it will bring them down. And they're so disconnected that they can't even see that the level at which they're pushing at this point is just exponentially accelerating their own downfall. I think this shit is going to lead to heads rolling down the street, literally, and I'm there for it. I'm there for it.
And this, like, baboon, he came out and he's getting called out by his supporters. Musk Bros are like kind of turn on him, like, what you doing? Because he got rid of he's trying to shut down, what is it, the consumer protection people, like literally shutting them down, and people are coming out like, yo, I don't agree with you on this one. Like, what are you doing? Like, this has helped like millions of Americans when their banks and all these other corporations try to straight up just screw them. take their money and screw them. These people have actually fought for them, and they do a good job at it. So yeah, he's trying to get rid of that, and basically so that way. Oh, the thing he's doing that for is because all these companies that he's getting rid of were investigating him and his illegal stuff in his companies.
Of course.
So literally, he's going through and just being like, no, screw this one because they're investigating me. They all got to go.
Well, dude, this is what I mean. Even their own cultists are going to turn on them, and we're starting to see it already. Which is, excuse me, it's crazy how fast this is happening. How just totally. They're off the hook, dude. They have gone batshit crazy, and they've usurped the government at this point. So like Musk, this shit about Musk is just wild, dude. He's just given himself the ability to just do whatever the hell he wants with almost every facet of this nation's government at this point. And nobody has stopped him. Nobody has even said like, hey, wait a minute, this is a little out of pocket, like this is off the hook, like this is weird what's happening. This is a takeover, because it's what it is. And this is not me talking as a leftist or some crazy, chicken little skies falling. Like the dude is legitimately taking over facets of the country that no single person should have, especially without a security check or like any vote or anything like that. So he's doing this shit, but his own cultists are going to turn against him. So in a way, it's kind of good how fast this is happening, because you're going to see it fall the hell apart real quick. Like real quick, this is just going to fall apart.
Yep. Can't wait for it.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I think there was some country who's already like starting to like ban his companies from being allowed to do anything there.
Good.
Well, and I was pissed. I was super pissed watching the Super Bowl to see a stupid T-Mobile commercial come on for them to be like, we've partnered with Starlink.
Oh, boy.
And it's like, dude, like, not me anymore because I got off Mint Mobile, but basically every company that's tied to T-Mobile is now tied to Starlink. So T-Mobile, Sprint, Mint Mobile, Metro PCS, all of them.
Well, yeah, Tesla sales in Europe are plummeting too. I saw Germany just like totally boycotted Tesla, understandably so, because they're a little sensitive about that hand gesture.
Yeah.
All things considered, historically speaking, they're a little sensitive about that shit. So,
Yep. They should just be banned. Anything he has anything to do with should just be banned. Just consider it a criminal organization, and it's banned, perma-banned.
Yeah, I mean, they've already pushed too far. All it's going to take is all of this like tariff shit that's been happening. Once the common person in America starts to not be able to buy food for the week, I think the whole metric is 3 days. Like if you can't buy food for 3 days, there's usually a revolution. Usually. So that 3 days is coming. It's coming.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people can't buy eggs for weeks, so hey.
Oh, do we have anyone in our families who've fallen victim to the cult? Yes.
Yeah, sadly.
Yes.
But I've had family who's been in it since day one. People who I thought would be in it are not, and I was so happy to find that one out.
Yeah. It's I think, like, I don't have any family members that have gone like balls deep into it who are like truly gone. I think it's just some trust in the wrong place. Like my whole thing is that like we all have the same enemy, and we all, unless you're racist, then fuck off. But we all have the same enemy, and we all have the same wants. We all want to be able to buy food. We all want to be able to afford our homes. We all want to be able to get good jobs that pay well enough for not just living, or not just surviving, but living. We all want healthcare. We all want all these things. If you ask people in the United States about this shit without any of the buzzwords, they all stand on the left. Almost exclusively stand on the left on all these giant problems that we have. But the buzzwords just get them caught up in the bullshit. And it is a game. It's a giant game that these elites play to get us fighting each other so we don't start fighting them. And that table is going to turn real quick soon. And I think the people who stood by Trump as an anti-establishment figure are starting to realize that he's not anti-establishment. It's sad that it fucking took this long, but starting to realize that he's not anti-establishment. He is the establishment. And now we've got to do something about it. Our system doesn't work for voting. We can't vote. We can't vote this shit away. We can't protest this shit away. So what do? There's two options.
Yep. We gotta take action, and people need to all start taking action. And I like seeing that more people are talking about it. That makes me very happy. And I wanted to point this out because Gwen did say something. So $5 to $7 for eggs right now, and that's because like some of us live in a good area. We're in a farming area, so we've gotten fortunate with this. I saw a post on, I don't know if it was, I think it was Reddit, because I spend more time on there than I do the other stupid sites. And someone was posting a sale on eggs, $9.99.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And it's like, I feel bad for you. I don't know where you're at, but I feel terrible for you, because that's horrible. We have the Breakfast Fight Club place, Waffle House. They're charging 50-cent surcharge for eggs.
Seriously?
If you order a meal with eggs, it's a 50-cent surcharge per egg.
What the hell, dude? And think about, that's where, like, we're in a good spot, like you said. We're in a good spot. But think about food deserts. Think about places that, like, there's one grocery store, and that's it for, like, 50 miles in every direction.
Yep.
I mean, think about places like California or New York, where all of our food comes from California, for Christ's sake. And most of the people who live in that state are having to pay some insane premium for just common shit.
Well, wait till summer, since, you know, some fat retard decided to come out there and be like, hey, I look at a map and north is up, south is down. So if I release the water from Northern California, it's going to go straight down to Southern California. Like, no, that is not how reality works. And now all these farmers, every single farmer in California is screwed when summer comes. All their water is gone.
Dude.
Billions of gallons of water just gone. Like, how stupid are you?
That's
just
national
seriously,
famine.
how dumb are you?
That's a national famine. Like, the California and Texas are effectively our breadbasket. Mostly California. Like, most of our food that is grown in the U.S. or produced in the U.S., because we get a lot of shit from, like, Ukraine, for instance. We got a lot of shit from Europe. We get a lot of shit from South America, Central America. But most of our domestic food production is in California. So if that happens this summer, you're looking at like a famine, an actual famine, where, like, we just don't have shit.
Yeah. Yep.
It's coming. It's coming. The big R word is coming. I fucking mark my words, dude. It's coming.
Yep. You know what else is going to keep coming? More death. Because while Trump was sitting there talking to, you know, this guy who likes to perform genocide, lovely genocide. They were making a deal for $7 billion plus in arms going to them. Because, you know, we're stopping the killing, right? So we're just going to give them a ton more weapons.
Dude, do you remember?
Peace. It's all peace.
Oh yeah, it's all for peace. Yeah.
Give him the Nobel Peace Prize. This is like the guy who brings peace to us all the time.
Yeah, it's the Department of Peace, you know? Up is down and left is right, and the Department of Peace.
This is a picture of him actively shitting in his diaper. You can see.
He probably did. Yeah, dude, remember that interview where he's talking to that? I think he's some guy from South America or some shit. And he's talking to him, and you just hear like in the background. Yeah. Dude, we have an orange fucking buffoon who shits his pants in front of international leaders at the helm of the most powerful country the planet has ever seen. What are we doing, dude?
Don't forget about this. Because he's never won an award in his life because he's a piece of shit. He has all these fake trophies behind him. Look how amazing he is.
Such a tiny dick, dude.
He's won the douchebag of the universe award.
Yeah. Like, this just feels like a fucking parody. Like life feels like a parody. There was, I thought, if I didn't send it to you, I'm gonna try and find it and send it to you. There was a short on YouTube from The Onion where they they said like the first international ICBM weapons test was conducted by this giant mega church.
Yeah.
And Pastor, what is it, Olson? I think his name is Pastor Olson. He's one of these mega church pastors. And they had video of him that they like clipped into it to make it look like he was talking about this church testing ICBMs. And I commented on that saying, like, is it like how fucked is it that I saw this? And before I saw the onion symbol on the bottom left-hand side, I was like, oh, okay. Like that seems like the next logical step. That's it.
Yeah. Was it Joel Osteen?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Austin.
that guy I have a personal grudge against because he has like this huge facility. And I can't remember what storm it was, but there was some terrible storm down there. People were losing their houses and he closed the gates. Yep, acting just like Jesus by saying, no, you suffer. I'm up here in comfort.
God, dude, you know what? I hope their hell is real. I really do. I really, really do. Because when he bites it, he's going there. So, and, what people have sown is going to be reaped soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Carlitos called me Oracle Hawk. Mark my words, dude. Mark my words. It's coming. The reaping is coming.
I got to get this article pulled up. I got to find the math so we can talk about this. So today we were going to talk about less political, even though I'm going to bring politics into it at one point because we're talking about the number 2 because there's this thing coming out called the Switch 2. And it made me realize like 2 is a great number for some things. The only time it doesn't really work is when you have this one guy who's president and he's trash. We have an old guy who's just like kind of out of his mind because he's so old. And then we get the trash panda back in. And I don't mean trash panda's bad because Rocket City trash pandas. But he's just absolute trash. So sometimes 2s aren't good. His first presidency wasn't good. Second one's trash. But yeah, 2 is a great number. And there's this theory going around. I can't find the stupid math on it. But people are talking about the release date of the Switch 2. When's it going to come out? Never. When will this thing drop? And so there's this theory going around. And I mean, I know most of it. So the reveal trailer for the Switch 2 in Japanese time, military time, it was 22:02. Like that was the time that the video was posted.
Yeah.
And from that point to when we're going to get this like actual showcase on it is 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days from that date.
Okay.
And so like I'm following this. I'm like, okay, I get it because it's all 222. This all makes sense to me. Like at least following that weird logic they're going with. Like I'm keeping up with you. And then they say, and then the Switch 1 released 50 days after, so it's going to be 50 days after that. And that's when I'm like, where did 50 come in from?
Yeah, what?
Like, where did you just pull some number out of your ass? And so what I did is I decided to look at it and be like 222. If we're going to keep this, true, we then can understand where the release date would be. Also looking at the fact that they have showcases, like hands-on shows going on up to the beginning of June, like the first week.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I was like, well, what's a bunch of 2s? 6/24. June 24th will be the release date because 6 is 222. 24, you have a 2 and a 4, that's 22. That's 222. You have 2 sets of 222. That is all the 2s you could possibly think of. Like, to be honest, that's 2 overload. So that's what I'm going to say. It is hard fact that's going to release on 6/24. That's the release date.
Fun fact, if Sir Felix were to pan the camera left, you would see a wall full of red string.
Yes.
No, I mean, it's a good theory. Like, it is legitimately a good theory. If, like, is there precedent though for like enough precedent for Nintendo doing stuff like this, playing with numbers before?
Not at all.
Okay. Okay.
It's just the fact that they did so much with 222 in it. And yeah, people are coming up with like 522. And it's like, I don't get how your guys' math is working out. You threw out a 50 out of nowhere. You talk about nothing but the number 2. And then 50.
No, I think your theory is the best. And I think you got to mark that down, because it'd be cool if it actually came out on that date.
I tweeted it on the Nintendo podcast.
Okay.
Because he talked about it, and I was like, no, it's going to be 624. Like, it's 2s. It's all 2s.
Which, I mean, that gives us, 4 months?
Yeah.
4 months.
Yep.
And Carlito says this is dangerously close to the number 23 movie. Yes, that's where we're at. We're seeing 2s everywhere.
Reddit. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I was hoping they would show when they're showing all those things, and I don't feel like looking it up. But yeah, there's like something that's in South Korea, Seoul, however you say it. Their one is like on June 6th, I want to say. Like, that's the final day for their event. So it makes sense to let them have it, let them cook on it for a minute, think about it, and then release it, because it's going to release worldwide on the same day.
Yeah. I mean, that would be... Well, is it the same day? Because if it releases on the same day at the same time, then it would technically be like 2 days that it's releasing. Does that make sense? Yeah. But then again, that's another 2.
Yeah.
It's 2 days at the same time.
Yep.
So, I mean, that could play into it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and they are trying to make too many for the scalpers to buy up.
Yeah, that I don't believe. I don't believe that. I'm going to have to see that before I believe it. I hope it comes out in June, though. That'd be fucking cool. I'm really, really, really anticipating. Or not anticipating. I'm excited and interested to see what this console is capable of. I know that they said it's more of an iteration and not a new generation, which is fine, because I'm not looking for like...
Their statement is not that. I've seen people who aren't as into the Switch 2 as other people are saying that.
Okay.
But yeah, they're calling it like it in looks, it is an upgrade. But it is a iteration. But internally, it's much more.
Okay.
Like, it's to the point where developers have come out and been like, I don't know why people are saying it's not going to be better than a PS4.
Really?
Yeah, people are shooting this to, like, especially when it's docked, to be close to a Series S.
I can believe that. I can actually believe
that. That's docked, because they're supposed to have like some AI nonsense going on with it, upscaling, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'll never play it that way. I mean, I have my Switch docked right here. The reason I do that is because I can turn this thing on and I can play it right here while it's docked. I don't ever connect it to the TV. That's just why.
Yeah, I never connected mine to the TV. My wife did sometimes, but even that was only sometimes. Like, it's mostly on by hand. But yeah, I mean, if I do, I probably will get the Switch 2. I need to see whatever Pokemon game is coming out for it. But when I get the Switch 2, I will never play it docked. So
yeah.
But I'm excited. I want to see what this thing is capable of. I want to see what games are coming for it. I want to see what original shit they're going to put out for it. I want to see if they unfucked their store. I want to
see if they put out a Zelda that I truly want to play.
Yeah, because I would love to see a Zelda game that we like, and we just could not get into the last 2 Zelda games, which I know is a sin. But
yeah, like I've tried so hard. I want to still beat Breath of the Wild, and I have Tears of the Kingdom, and I am excited to at least play around with those systems, because those systems look beautiful, like for what they can do. The fact that you can go from like the Sky Island all the way up at the top of as far as it lets you go, and just fall straight down to the ground and go through the ground and go to the next area of the world, and this is on a Switch. It's something that's so advanced that I feel like it would break a PS4. And it's on a Switch.
No, the systems are great. You can like make vehicles and shit. In the second one, like it's wild what people have done with that game. It's an incredible system. It's an incredible little like game that they've made. It just didn't stick with either of us, which is a shame because like they seem good, but I don't know why I can't get into it. I don't know why we can't get into it.
Yeah, part of it for me was the weapon breakage. Like it's too much. It is too much. I don't want to have to sit there and just constantly try to manage what I have in my inventory to where I'm carrying like 20 weapons at all times. Because if I don't carry 20, I am screwed.
Yeah. No, that's annoying as hell.
And I love Zelda. Like, I've always been a big fan of Zelda.
And me, not so much. Like, I've liked Zelda, but it's never been something that I was like crazy for. But I've always liked the concept.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's your classic story of like, hero goes and saves the princess.
Yeah.
Except for in the last game they made where the princess is saving the hero because he got sucked into some black hole and she has to like create beds to jump up on cliffs and whatnot.
Woke.
Yeah, woke. You're playing as a girl.
Woke.
Dude, I would love it if this whole like woke nonsense took place back in the day when Metroid first came out, so they can like have the game be beat like they're playing the game like, oh, I'm the super badass warrior in space, and then they get to the end and she pops off her helmet.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Just to see the outrage.
Dude, they would fucking rage. Like Twitter would blow up. Like, what the hell is this? I've been playing as a woman, as a femoid.
And yes, absolutely.
Says everything. Yeah, dude.
Yep. And yes, portability. That is the reason I even play Switch.
Yep.
Like, if Switch wasn't a portable system, it was just a regular home console, I would save up and I would be playing like a ROG Ally or the Legion Lenovo Go, whatever it is, or Lenovo Legion Go. I don't know what they're called. A handheld PC. I'd be playing one of them because I want that handheld motion. Like, I don't want to sit here. I want to be able to like watch something on my TV while I'm playing on my handheld, not have it be the other way around. I don't want to have my phone set up in front of me while I'm playing on the TV.
See, that's what I like. With the phone, I have my little phone stand where I could, have videos playing while I play on my computer. It's just a preference. But like, if the Switch was a regular console, it would suck. It would just suck ass. Like, the whole thing about the Switch, the whole thing about Nintendo is their gimmicks. Like, every console that they make does something that no other console is doing. And that's
we're going to have a mouse built into the Switch too.
Really?
Yeah, they confirmed it. It came out in one of the specs for the what do they call it, specs? The patents.
Oh, shit.
What looked like a little mouse sensor thing, whatever that laser is called, optical laser. It is. It's for a mouse, and they even show that in the trailer because they have it go on to like its little clippy part, and they're racing around the floor, and they have like the straps hanging out behind, and they look like mice running across the floor.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so it's gonna have like mouse functions. So maybe we'll have like almost sword and board type shooters. Like it'll be a little weird because you'll have like a joystick in one to control, and the other one's the mouse shooting. So I don't know.
For me to buy a shooter on the Switch, they gotta tighten the shit out of those triggers, man. Those triggers suck hard. And I love the Xbox controller. I think it is the pinnacle of controller technology. It is the best controller I've ever held in my life. I hate the system, but I love that controller. And I want harder triggers because it has a tangible feeling, You have more feeling with games where you have to use the trigger, and the Switch just sucks with those. So I want them to tighten those up.
Yep. And yeah, Steam Deck. I forgot about that one. Steam Deck. Absolutely. Yeah. I would do the Steam Deck.
Steam Deck?
But I mean, I feel like it's underpowered compared to the other ones. Like, it has more limits, and I've heard too much, like, too many people say it's more of like a good thing to get if you like to tweak with your stuff. And I don't. That's why I mainly play console instead of like anything on PC, because I don't want to have to mess with anything. Just let me pop in a game and start playing.
The Steam Deck is definitely the least of the handheld computer systems. Like the ROG Ally, from what I've seen, is one of the best. Like that would be the one to invest in because it just looks so damn good. But the Steam Deck has a lot of problems. It's got a lot of issues.
Yeah, I think they all kind of do. But yeah, Steam Deck has, I think, the worst battery too.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a handheld that you can't walk away from a charger.
Well, then again, you have a Switch for long enough, and it kind of turns into that too.
Yeah, I mean, mine's probably gonna die because I keep it on the dock most of the time now.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're just murdering that battery.
Yep, it's fun times. But yeah, we're talking about 2s and stuff. So there's been a lot of great 2s throughout history of like nerdiness, of just almost everything, except for, like I said, Trump. Once was enough. We didn't need it twice. I mean, once was too much, which is a 2. But yeah, like the best-selling console of all time, the PS2.
Yep.
Fantastic system. The second Xbox, fantastic system. The 360 was killer.
God tier.
And yeah, and then they played around too much, and you know, that's where they're at now.
Well, they forgot to make games. That's what happened.
Yeah, now they remember to make games, but it's too late because they decided to screw the whole company.
little too late for that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Game Pass, such a great idea, and it benefits people, but does it help? No.
It does not help at all. It doesn't help the industry. It doesn't help. I mean, I guess they're still making money. I don't fucking know how, but I guess they're still making money. But I
don't think they ever reported their like purchases and anything. There's no way they could have. They didn't take a dip when they bought Bethesda. They didn't take a dip when they bought Activision. How did you not lose money at first? You're telling me you bought them and made money instantly?
I mean, here's the thing with them. One of maybe 3 things happened, I think. One, they still made a profit because they made so much money that year on all kinds of shit that buying Bethesda put a dent in their wallet, but at the end of the year, they still had a profit. That's one possibility. 2 is that they are misreporting, which is absolutely possible. They're giving bullshit numbers because companies don't have to follow laws. So, I mean, they're people. Don't forget that. Companies are people too, except when they're not. But, or 3, I don't know what 3 is. I had a 3, but yeah, no. So it's one of those 2 things. They either just made so much money that it didn't hit their bottom line, or they are just bullshitting, really. Yeah,
I know, like their Windows and stuff like that does make them a lot of money. Like they're making bank off those things. But I don't know. I feel like when it comes to, because they usually try to, like those graphs that pop up, which are always so confusing because they're not graphs. They're like bubble charts. Like everything's in a little bubble and it points to an arrow and a number.
Yeah.
And it's like Xbox is always in the green. They're always going down with console sales themselves, but they're always in the green besides that. And it's like, that's where I don't think it's coming true. Like where are you hiding this, like the money you spent?
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that you're making enough off Game Pass that you don't have to worry about these studios, because you're closing these studios. You're showing us directly that you're not getting enough.
Well, I mean, it also could come down to the expectations. Like, we've seen this a lot. The companies will wind up closing studios because the studio didn't meet their expectation, but at the end of the day, it was still profitable.
I mean, they closed Hi-Fi Russia's studio, which is mind-blowing because that was a hit. People loved it.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush was a fucking huge hit. And that's what I mean. Yeah, that's a good example of it. There was a game that was a massive hit, but didn't meet their expectations. It was still...
They need to quit being Square Enix.
Yeah. Oh, that's the problem. Because this is, again, politics. This is the capitalist problem. What does a company need to succeed in capitalism? Exponential growth. Year after year after year, you need exponential and significant growth. And if you
They should have closed Bethesda the day Starfield came out then.
They should have. They should have closed their own doors too. So clearly something is working for them. I mean, Game Pass is probably fucking somehow making them money. I have no idea how, but somehow it's making them money. Or
it's making them money when they're giving it out for like $1 for a few months.
Or I mean, Xbox is just fucking bleeding money from Microsoft, but Papa Microsoft is just injecting money into Xbox, so they're technically always profitable even though they're not actually making a profit. It's just business bullshit. So like I mean, who knows with them? You can never trust these companies. You can't trust any company, but either way, they're still making money. So whatever decisions they're making in the background may not seem to make sense to us, but it makes sense to the investors. And I can guarantee you, bottom line, whatever decision they make is going to make the people at the top money, not us, not the workers.
And I will say the last quarter of last year, they definitely did make money because they were the top publisher of video games.
Yeah.
Especially in, I think it was especially in December. And that's because they were putting out stuff on other consoles.
Yeah.
And they just started to make money off games again, which is what they used to do.
Yep. Or now
go figure. You put out games and actually sell them, you make money. Like, that's so mind-blowing. It's revolutionary.
Well, now that they own every other fucking development studio, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
God.
Great stuff. They make me so mad.
I hate them all.
Yeah, Sony's making me the most mad. Which I put out a rant video this morning because I have so many gripes when it comes to like video games, comics, and movies. I have a second part to that video coming out in a couple weeks. But it's just, yeah, I straight up call people stupid in it, and I don't care. Do not care.
I mean, if you're right, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the things I'm saying, they're not wrong.
I mean, a lot of people, we've talked about this before, just a lot of people don't know what they want, and they don't understand how shit works.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of the things I talked about was how people like to talk to, or come after developers and harass them because their game's not coming out soon enough. And then, you know who hears about that? The people who are funding this project. You know what they say? Hey, we're the investor. This comes out now, not later.
Yep.
And then what happens to the game? It comes out and it's trash. And people wonder, why did this happen?
Well, a part of that is the fact that they announced this shit like 12 years before it's ready to come out. That's part of it.
There's never been a Cyberpunk game that ever did that.
Like,
there's never been a Bethesda game.
Well, of all the shit you could say about Bethesda, they don't actually do that usually. They did it with Elder Scrolls 6. They announced it fucking, like 5 years ago? It's probably not coming out for another 5 years. So that's stupid.
Yeah, but, minimum.
Yeah, minimum. Especially at this point. But Bethesda usually is pretty damn good at that. Like, they announced Fallout 4, I think, like a month or two before it dropped.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, Fallout's coming, get ready. Like, that's basically how it happened. They Skyrim, I think they announced like a year before it came out. It was they're usually pretty good with that, but most companies, they suck. It's like, oh yeah, we're working on a game and it's this. We're going to come up with a teaser trailer that's not representative of anything that the final product will be, and it's coming out in 16 years. And then everybody's like, well, we want it now.
Yeah, and we also need to make teaser trailers just illegal.
Oh yeah.
If it's not showing an actual thing, no. And this whole in-engine, like, people need to understand, because they made a video in-engine doesn't mean you are looking at the actual video game itself. You are looking at something they happen to create in the engine, using a lot less resources than the game itself is going to use.
Yeah, I mean, that comes down to reading.
Yeah, and understanding things.
Yeah, understanding things. No, I like in-engine stuff. It's cool to see a representation of what the final product will be, but I think they need a bigger, like, stupid-proof warning label for a lot of it, so people realize this is not the game. It's just a conceptual display of what the game might be. But Yeah, no, like, so part of it is them announcing it way too goddamn early, but the other part is the people demanding it. And then you're right, the investors see like the minority online, because it usually is a minority when we're talking about anything online. The minority online bitches about how it's not coming out as fast as they want it to because they have no concept of game development and the fucking absolute hell that making a game is. And then the investors, who also have no idea what game development is like, just demand that it comes out too early. And then the development studio is between a rock and a hard place. So, because they need to appease the people funding their game.
Yeah. Yep. Keep those investors happy.
It's just, look at that. Wow, we came full circle again. Another capitalist problem. Holy shit.
Yep.
It's almost like it's a problem that affects everything.
There's no way. There's no way.
It's almost like all of our woes come down to this one thing.
Yeah. It comes down to two things. Republicans for being ignorant and capitalism for the rest of the world. Oh, which I was going to talk about something. I forgot about this when we were talking about politics stuff earlier. What is it called? The Fairness Treaty or whatever it is, where news companies, where they had to say the full story both ways. Why does nobody ever talk about that? Why do we not fight to bring that back? Why does nobody fight to bring that back? Is it because they're all lying? Yeah, obviously. But why can't we get that back? Why Fox News would be shut the hell down overnight. Like CNN would be shut down overnight. We would actually get real news again. Like, that's something mind-blowing. We would get real stories.
Yeah. Well, there's way too much money in it. It's just like why we're never going to get off of fossil fuels until we run out of fossil fuels or the planet breaks apart. It will never happen.
Because, in order to get electricity, we need windmills, and windmills are giving whales cancer.
Well, I mean, there's a whole bag. Like, how do you transfer a society that is entirely based on fossil fuels? Like, not even just in transportation, but our products that we have. Like, oil is in everything. Like, everything. We're used to make everything. So, like, how do you transition a society that was built from the ground up around this resource to not use this resource and somehow maintain itself? It's almost impossible. But even if we did find a way to do it, they still wouldn't, because there's way too much fucking money in it. And that's why we'll never have honest news.
Yep. Well, I mean, the Saudi came out and said it, and our oil douchebags here in America said the same thing. Like, Trump wants to drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
And they all came out and said, no, we're not going to do that, because then we're going to have to lower our prices.
Well,
and they want to keep milking us.
No, they don't actually. Look at diamonds. There's fucking warehouses full of diamonds. Full of diamonds. But you still pay an absurd amount of money if you want anything with a diamond in it. Diamonds are still sold to you as something that's actually valuable, when in reality, go pick up a fucking pebble out of your backyard. It's about as valuable as a diamond in reality. If we're talking about pure supply and demand. So they can drill and drill and drill. They could suck the fucking earth dry and still charge us a premium for gas and oil and all this shit. And nobody will know. The gas prices are all just bullshit anyway. Like, it just fluctuates back and forth. The only things that like actually affect gas prices are like wars and really wars. That's it.
Yeah. And we've done more drilling under Biden than we have under any other president. Just billions of gallons of oil, and gas prices went down like what, 40 cents?
Yeah.
50 cents.
They always fluctuate with the seasons too. Like, I think they go down over the winter, if I remember right. But and that's the other part too. Yeah. You'll never hear any other leftists online talk about, how much we drilled under Biden. You'll never hear how many people Biden deported. You'll never hear that. So, because he was the best president of our lifetime. The best president.
Oh yeah, he was great. He was great. Yeah. The only thing he tried to do was some financial aid for debt relief for some school students, like people who had school debt. And he tried to do a good one, but that was blocked by Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And then what he came out with afterwards was just insulting. And then he did the insulting thing again.
Well, and even if you qualify for it, you go through all the process to get it, and then you're told no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of like how we're
yeah.
going with this in this country with immigration. There's people who literally went through and like doing their paperwork. They're in the middle of the like situation. And now they're being told, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spent all that money. Nope. And we're not giving it back.
Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if fucking nobody gets any of this shit. Like with the college, like debt forgiveness and stuff, it would not shock me if not a single cent was given to anybody for that. They just said
all it did was encourage people to get scammed, because then you have these people coming out and be like, oh, hey, yeah, you know, I'm here for your debt relief. I just need this information.
Yep.
And you're screwed because you just gave it to a scammer.
Yep. And of course, Carlitos pointed out Genocide Joe. How could we forget his greatest sin? Yep. Aiding and abetting the genocide of an entire fucking people, maybe. Yep. You know, nobody talks about that. Everybody's talking about this shit Trump said about how he's going to pave fucking Gaza and turn it into Gazisneyland or some shit, okay? Fucking, but nobody's going to bring up how he did fuck all before now. Yep. And how it was good old nothing will fundamentally change sleepy fucking Joe Biden, who facilitated this shit.
Allowed to go on. The second that started, he should have like grew a pair. He should have been like Big Balls, grew a pair, and actually did something. Like get in there and be like, hey, you know what? You may be using our weapons, but we have more of them, and we can wipe you off the face of the earth. Do you want to be genocided?
Yeah, dude, imperialism.
Just right in the back.
Okay,
we're bigger than them.
Like, I'm going to preface this. Imperialism is dog shit, and I do not like how my country acts, how our country acts on an international scale. But we are the biggest dick on the block, okay? If we wanted to, we could say to Israel, you're going to stop it, or we're going to fucking invade you. And they would listen to us. What are they going to do? What is anybody going to do?
Yeah.
Like, we're the big dog. You know what I mean?
I mean, we would have other countries wanting to join in on that just to make sure it's stopped.
Yeah. But then
nobody wants the genocide.
That works in the opposite direction, where what the fuck is anybody going to do? And now Trump is using that to be like, oh, we're just going to take Greenland or Iceland or whatever. It's like,
and Panama. And like, the bad side of that is we could use that power for good and tell Israel, like, look, dude, we're gonna stomp your dick into the ground if you don't stop this shit, and then they'll stop. Or we could do what Trump is doing. We're like, oh, we're just gonna take your country. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
I fucking hate it, dude. I hate it.
Yep.
And you know what? The Carlitos, that guy you recommended. You recommended a guy that we watch. I don't know if you watched him, Sir Felix.
The political punk?
Yeah, political punk. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of his shit recently. And what was I going to say? Shit. He makes some really good points. And I think he was talking about a lot of shit. There was some shit I agreed with, some shit I didn't agree with. I forget what I was going to go with this, dude. God damn it. God damn it. Oh yeah, politics. We made the show with the plan on talking about good twos, Switch 2, sequels to video games and shit like that. But like here we are talking about politics, and the thing is, like, it can be frustrating, and like I'd love to talk about games and shit like that. But he said, I think I'm going to try and quote him here. He said that if you're watching someone who's not talking about politics right now because of all the shit going on, they're not worth watching. Yeah, and I agree with that. He just has misplaced faith in the DNC. Yeah, the shit he said about the DNC, he still believes in the system. And I think that's
there's too many of those. Too many of those. Like we were talking about that earlier. I straight up just stopped watching people because of that. They're too absorbed. Like, oh yeah, the DNC is going to save us. Like, bro, the DNC had time to do it. They had multiple chances. You know what they did? They stole more money. They did some insider trading. We keep Nancy Pelosi around for some reason. Like, she's robbing us blind because she can do some insider trading, so she's going to keep doing it. And we just like, yep, keep her. She's doing great things for us. Like, that should never be a word coming out of anybody's mouth. Once you're doing that, you're not doing anything good for the people. You're benefiting your own piggy bank, and it's terrible. Be arrested. You should be arrested, thrown in jail. I mean, those are the people who should go to Gitmo.
Yeah.
Like, basically all the politicians. That's where they belong.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when you said, every time someone brings this up, I think of fucking Lord of the Rings with King Theoden. Like, where was Gondor when the Westfold fell? You know, I think, where was the DNC when abortion was able to be made legal for the rest of time? Where was the DNC where they were ratifying gay marriage, which they still haven't done, and that's why it's going to get taken away? Where was the DNC when it came to stopping the genocide in Israel? Where was the DNC when it came to actually pulling out successfully from the Middle East? Where's the fucking DNC when they said that Trump is going to cause authoritarian Nazi dictatorship, and then the moment he fucking gets elected, they're sitting there sucking his dick? Where's the DNC?
Yeah, wasn't Obama like pro-Afghanistan war, like hardcore pro-Afghanistan war?
They all are. They're fucking they're war hawks, dude. They're Republicans. Yeah. They're Republicans.
Yeah. That's why there's the two political parties. Well, three if you want to count Libertarian Party, which they're dumb. But you have the Republicans. Well, you have MAGA, Republicans, Democrats, and then you have the center, and then you have us, off screen. Just way out there.
Yeah, Drone King Obama. Oh, yeah, Obama, the king of drones. Like I said before, National Defense Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, revision of 2013, removal of habeas corpus and posse comitatus. The military can black bag your ass and put you in a fucking cell with no legal rights anytime they want. The president has executive rights to take control over all other branches of government. Obama signed that. Obama was the first one to enact it, with the killing of a man and his daughter with a drone strike, without jurisdiction, without reason, without cause. What was his name? I forget his name. I told you about him before. Yeah, you looked him up too.
Yeah,
the first guy that died after the revision of 2013, where he was killed extrajudicially, and he was an American citizen, and he was a Muslim, and he was a guy that preached about basically how America's shit, which we could all basically get on board with, and we put a fucking missile through his window, and he's an American citizen. American citizen. Yep. Obama did that.
Love the DNC.
Yeah, there's the fucking there's your DNC.
Oh yeah, remember how there was that one time too where we had this old man who was running for president, and he would have been a pretty decent choice, but the DNC got involved, and then Hillary ran.
Yeah. Remember when we had a primary when Sleepy Joe finally decided that he couldn't run for the presidential election 4 months before it happened? Oh wait, oops.
Yeah. Gavin Newsom's not perfect, but Jesus Christ, I would take him over Kamala. Heartbeat. And he's done some things that just piss me off, like his whole, fast food or restaurant food service people are going to get paid this much unless they work at Panera because they serve bread, and my buddy owns Panera.
Anwar al-Awlaki. That was his name. Anwar Nasser Abdullah al-Awlaki. Remember that fucking name, because he was an American. He was killed 2011, had a missile put through his goddamn window, and then I think we killed his daughter after the fact too, and she was a little girl. We killed his little fucking daughter. For what? For what?
To brag about it?
I'm getting fucking hot, man.
They can brag about it at their drug parties, or as that one guy who was in a wheelchair who was in Congress for a while, their drug-fueled sex parties.
Yeah, which I thoroughly believe.
Oh yeah, and it makes more sense too, because he was clearly talking about Matt Gaetz being the head of those parties.
Oh yeah, 100%. Matt Gaetz, that fucking creep, dude.
Who else is going to bring in the kids for them?
Well, since their go-to guy, quote unquote, killed himself. Yeah, who's going to bring them? Who's going to bring them kids now? Newsom is a potential Fetterman. Yes, I believe this. I don't know if you are in that camp, Sir Felix. I know you like him more than I do.
He could easily swing the other way. I do definitely see that. he's the best of the horrible choices.
Yeah. But
and that's all we're stuck with. I mean, I would take the one who Trump calls Pocahontas. I think she's a better pick, and she's not even great.
Yeah, I mean, but
she did a lot of work with the consumer people, the one who were protecting them that I talked about earlier that Musk shut down. She had a lot to do with that. And I respect her for that. She has actually tried to do good things for the people.
Yeah.
And that's rare for someone in government to actually not just talk, but actually do something. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren, thank you.
But here's the thing, though, man. Let's say they get in. Let's say they get on the ballot. Elizabeth Warren is on the ballot, or Newsom is on the ballot, or some shit. Where are we at? We're still voting on the lesser of two evils. We're still voting in a system that is not a direct democracy. We're playing at democracy. We still have the Electoral College. We still have lobbyists who are just corporations that buy the government, and now it's completely out in the open. Where are we at? We're at a point where this is not a democracy. This is not a representative democracy for the people of the United States. This is not a government that cares or gives a fuck about you or what you think or what you feel or what you need. And it's just proven time after time after time after time. And the big R is coming. Again, the oracle on the mountain, the big R is coming, my man.
Yep. Yep, it needs to. A lot needs to change.
Oh, it will. It will.
And what's crazy is if you actually built the country back up using our Constitution currently and just actually stuck to it, because I don't know why we need people to sit there and be like, no, this is what it actually means when it's written in English. Like it's written in the language we all speak and we can read, at least those of us that can read. Like, why do we need these people sitting in these robes, getting paid bank and taking in like billions of dollars from like these criminals just to translate the word for us and the companies, because the companies need it translated to them?
Yeah, I think clearly the system is flawed. Clearly, it's broken. But even if it were working at its best and as it should, which you could argue that right now it is working as it was intended, I am in that camp. The system is absolutely working as it was intended to work, but let's say that it works for the better. It's still going to be flawed. I think we probably still need all of the facilities that we have today, even the corrupt ones. We still need them in some capacity, like the Supreme Court and shit, you know? But
yeah, I mean, I'll take a Supreme Court as long as there's term limits. Then they need to be strict.
Well, and that's the thing, is you can make these better by having term limits, by having age limits, by having but we got to remove gerrymandering. That's gotta go, dude. Like, that's 100%.
That's gotta be a death. That's gotta be punishable by death. Like, it needs to. This whole going through and letting people who aren't even part of the government call in to get voters thrown off the rolls. That needs to be punishable by death too. That's trying to overthrow the government. That literally is. That's insurrection. You're trying to stop a democracy from functioning like a democracy, even though we don't currently really have a democracy. It's all show and games. But if this is a real democracy, that should be highly illegal. Like that is, God, that's frustrating.
Well, that and lobbying. Like, lobbying is just corruption. It's just
any company that comes out and tries to give money to a politician, like bribe them in any way to get their way, homie, you're all going down.
That, and then what was that organization that I found a couple of years ago? They're the ones who write basically all the bills that get thrown through. It's a company. It's a fucking company that writes these legislative bills and then hands them off to legislators who then run it through the government systems, and it gets passed half the time, and half the time it doesn't. If it's something destructive, it'll get passed. But it's a fucking company that does this shit. Probably have a designated chat fed at this point. Yeah, we probably do have a couple feds at this point. Welcome to the fucking chat. Welcome. Maybe you'll pick some shit up. But we have a company that writes this fucking legislation and sends it off to the government. Why is that allowed? Why is a company full of right-wing Christian fundamentalists allowed to write bills that then get passed through our politicians?
Yeah.
Like, lurker fed, sir. We mean in Minecraft. Yes. We mean in Minecraft. Everything we're talking about, we're very, very passionate about the Minecraft political server.
There was that one neckbeard dude in Florida who did that and said, like, oh yeah, he was going to kill this. I think it was a cop. Kill the cop, and he was like, but in Minecraft, and they still arrest him for it. Oh
yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, so we got to make it better. We're gonna say it's in Fortnite.
Fortnite. It'll totally work then. No, we do not condone any violent actions.
Oh yeah.
We don't condone any violent actions.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had the camera on, that's when you just look at the camera. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just think some shit's got to change, and in order for shit to change, there needs to be some action. So,
you know what I find is funny? So we have like this Second Amendment, so we can like defend ourselves, and we're allowed to militias, and we're allowed to, if need be, take over the government, like fight the government because they're going against the people. But yet, if you start planning that and talk about it or ever even try, it's highly illegal. It's treason.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's the rules for thee and not for me. That's how everything with this is where I said before, like, this system is working exactly as it's meant to. Where let's look at who started it. Who started the system? A bunch of rich elitists. Yeah, a great guy with wood teeth. A bunch of rich elitist slave owners who wanted to run businesses without the British government getting in their shit. That's who started this country. And so it was built around corporations, they weren't really corporations at the time, but businessmen who could do whatever the fuck they want and extract as much wealth from the people as possible. And if we think today's bad, I told you about this. You've got to read this book at some point. Carlitos, I don't know if you've read this book. You should definitely read this book. Everybody should read this book. What is it? A People's History of the United States of America. If you think it's bad now, it could get so much fucking worse because it was worse before. Where we're at now is actually pretty damn good compared to where shit was in terms of just unchecked corporate power. We're getting back to that point. We're absolutely getting back to that point. But that book will change your entire mindset on everything. It is the reason why I refuse to participate in the lesser of two evils fucking shenanigans. It's the reason why I see all the shit that's happening now and say, yeah, this is what I expected. This is the inevitable endpoint. This is where we've been. This is where we're going. I mean, it's the reason, it's the lens through which I see everything that happens in this country. And I think that everybody should read that book. And I think it would do a lot of good if people read that book. Stop playing the fucking game.
Nope. We're going to play it forever.
Oh, you got to read too. So I know that's hard.
Yeah. Well, no. There might be audio versions. Let's find out.
I think there is. Yeah, I think you can get it on Audible. Shit, I think I might have it on Audible. Hold on.
Yeah, Audible. Audiobooks.com. It's $5. It's on sale right now.
Yep. Read it, man. Read it, listen to it, whatever. That book will change your life in terms of how you see shit. And it's kind of scary because, like I said, what's your favorite historical period? Oh, my favorite historical period. Shit, that's hard. I was obsessed with 1100 to the Renaissance for most of my life. But let me think about that. While I think about that, what's your favorite historical period, Sir Felix?
I don't know if I even have one. Mine doesn't really go back too far. I love the 20s.
It's a good period.
I mean, going back, I would say like, yeah, Renaissance, almost like Shakespeare's times and whatnot too. Like that's I liked art back then, pretty much art in all forms.
Yeah.
And then I also like how people today would be like, they only lived till they were like 12.
Yeah, God, gee, all right, okay. So before we address that, I got my answer. Okay, my second or my favorite period.
Hold up, really quick. Pause yourself. Look at that.
Fucking Christ, dude! What the fuck?
All right, go on.
It's coming, man. It's coming. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's coming. But okay. It's a long period. It's not like the quote Middle Ages. It's not the quote, Imperial era or colonial era. My favorite period would be from like 650 AD to about 1600. That range. That's quite a long range, but that date or that year range would be my favorite historical time period just because of how batshit crazy shit was for most of the planet through that whole time period. So I love it though. I love like the fall of Rome to like pike and shot age because shit just got wild. Like I told you before, I only recently found out about the mini ice age that hit in like 600 or 700, I think, AD. Like what? Yeah, history's wild though. I love history so much. I don't know why people don't like it.
Well, like also that thing you were telling me earlier about the land between England, France, and all that. Yeah.
Like the basically like a good chunk of the Northern Sea, from Eastern England, UK, over to like I think Denmark and Germany and France. The whole section of ocean was a landmass. Like 10,000 years ago. I didn't know about that until today.
Yeah, to find actually have artifacts down there. Like we need to go. We need to dig them up, dude, look at them, study them, learn. Fishermen
pulled up a harpoon. That's how they figured it out. They pulled up a harpoon that I think was like 8,000 or 9,000 years old. And then they looked at forests on the beaches of Denmark facing east, and then the beaches of the UK facing, the beaches of Denmark facing west, and the beaches of the UK facing the east, and they're the same type of trees on both beaches. And then if you look in the water, there's tree stumps in the ocean beyond the point at which low tide is at its lowest. So there was a forest between these two places. And it was the same forest of the same trees. And they started digging into this more, and there was a guy who wrote a book on it. It's crazy. It's wild how they discovered this shit.
Yep.
And I love history and science and shit.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
But yeah, bottom line, we're fucked. So
yeah.
We're fucked. Yeah, Carlitos, look at. Actually, you know what? Hold on, Carlitos. Let me get you a name to look up. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy. The YouTube channel that I saw this on was Mini Minute Man, all one, like Mini Minute Man, all one word. He's an archaeologist, and the name of this landmass was Doggerland. 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 Just look that shit up. It's wild.
Yep. All right. Before I have an aneurysm tonight, let's move on to a movie we watched. You watched it, right?
I did. Unfortunately, yes, I did.
Okay.
Last minute, too. I watched it.
This is an indie film, which that's part of the reason I picked it. I was hoping it'd be really good because it's an indie film. We watched, this is really small, Einstein's God Model, which is basically, I was with the whole 2-2-2 nonsense with the Switch 2. I was thinking of string theory, and I was thinking the red string theory, but this brought me to the other string theory, and I was like, hey, it's good enough. Like it kind of fits. It has strings. But yes, this is a random indie film that I came across, and concept is interesting.
Yeah.
Acting, there were a couple okay actors. There was the guy's wife, not the main character's wife, but the doctor's wife who he talks to for a minute. She was good at her role. I liked her.
Yeah.
She was in it movie for like 3 minutes?
If that.
What we got in this?
The physicist guy, he was pretty good. That awkward guy who he runs into, he's the physicist.
Oh, the one who busts into his house? This guy?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he was a pretty good actor. I liked him.
Yeah. I did not care for main guy. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was with him. He was weird. And that was Aaron Graham, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I get them all confused.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, because here was the other guy, Craig Lehman. Brad Norman.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, it was a movie. It's very weird. I don't know if I'm going to say it's great, but it's one that I would suggest like checking out maybe just to see what you think about it and just understand that it's done very low budget.
Oh, very low budget. Yeah, I don't know about you. The movie, it's an interesting one because it kind of sucked, but the premise was pretty cool. There were some visuals that were pretty damn cool, cheap but pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the trippy shit at the end, that was pretty awesome, and how they represented the stuff that they were showing, I think, was pretty cool. Yeah, but it's like a good concept with just an execution that couldn't meet the gravity of the concept because of a low budget, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Yep.
But I liked it. I would not. I saw Rotten Tomatoes, I think, gave it like a 70%. Fuck that. No.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Like they gave it a very high score.
Yeah, that's shocking, to be honest. I would give it like a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, like between like what Prime and IMDb gave it, up to 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Because 5 is average. Not shit, just average. 6 is a little above average. 7 is like pretty decently above average. 8, 9, and 10 are just different levels of good until you get to great at 10.
Yeah.
But also the science behind it was stupid. It makes no sense. But it was still cool that they tried. So I appreciated it. I guess I'll say that. It's charming in its own way.
Yeah. Yeah, at least it was based off like a real theory too. Like it was Einstein's God model. Like this is something he actually did. There was that conversation where a student asked him if he believed in God, and he drew the box, which was in a box, and then put boxes around it and whatnot. And he explained it, like how he felt about it. Not saying that he felt there was one or wasn't one, but explained how he saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciated that. I appreciate their inclusion of that. And I like the pen through the, like, where is what we're doing? And he puts the pen through the paper.
Yeah.
And he drills a pen into a wood floor. Like, what?
Yeah. Which, hold on. You know what pen they were using?
No.
Oh, yeah, I have that pen. It is a Zebra F301. That is the pen they used in the movie. I saw that and I was like, that is my favorite pen. I got these when I was working at a gas station convenience store place because I needed a pen that could work in the freezer when I was doing inventory and like ordering and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this one actually worked for me as long as I didn't like leave it in there. If I kept it on me and then like used it while I was in there, it wouldn't freeze during the time I was in there.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Little did you know this was all a ploy to get you onto PenTube, where we talk about pens.
Yes. So this is a ballpoint pen. It is 0.7 millimeters. It writes in black ink, and it goes click, 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 click.
The ballpoint pen invented in 19 whatever the hell. We just go into a documentary about pens. I would do it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. When I saw the pen, I did get kind of excited. I was like, that's my pen.
I get that. Like, there's a couple pens. Do you have like a weird like interest in pens?
I'm very picky about my pens that I use.
So kind of like you're kind of interested in pens. Like you're looking for specific functions out of pens.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the same way. It's a weird like
pen is...
not to be pen pen I5 pen tube. Pen 5 tube. However the hell you wrote it, Penis Island. You know, that and the S. Everybody knows the S. But I have weird things that I'm looking for out of pens, and maybe it's the autism. I don't know. But like, when I want a pen, I want very specific features out of that pen, and I've gone down rabbit holes where I found like special, like high class pens, and I found the pens that the presidents have been using for the last like 12 presidents, and I want one so fucking bad, dude.
Yeah. So get one.
Well, they're expensive, I think. Hold on.
All you got to do is act like the January Sixers, but do it to the White House and get yourself a pen.
Yeah. All right. It's the AT Cross pen, and usually they have blue, if I remember correctly. Cross Century 2, Townsend, and Classic Century. They're sexy pens.
Don't know it.
Look that shit up. Yeah, it's like $130 for a pen.
Did you find a SCP by chance?
No, I totally forgot to look for one. I thought you found one.
No, let's see if this one's a story.
If you want to, though, I could start doing that before the show.
Yeah, we'll have you do that because I get a lot of stuff, and I'm just showing this is how I go through SCPs. I just click until I find one that works. This is a little behind the scenes.
Gwen says, and then I lose it. Yeah, no, I think my wife would probably steal it and then lose it. That's probably what would happen there.
I hate your policies, but this place is cleaner than any hospital or prison I've seen. And that's my only frame of reference for whatever this type of place is. So, thanks for that part, I guess. Nikki.
Same?
Yeah. Unless we're talking about America, it's not. Yeah. Okay, go over this one. So this is item seized March of 2022, Site 42, Sapient Object Containment.
Yum.
Part of the Broken Masquerade Hub. Whatever that is. All right. So staff note, sanitation standards ought to be typical in all hospitals and prisons, filed into compliments and criticisms records. All right. Here we have another lovely one. I am not broken. I am not an anomaly. I am not a lab rat. I am not an experiment. I am not a monster. I am not a monster. I am not a monster. The world does not need to be protected from me. I am part of the world you stole from me. Huh. Ethics committee interviewing is recommended. If psych path does not improve, chemical assistance may become necessary over the next several weeks of containment.
I need some chemical assistance.
All right. So March 22. I've been in here since September 2017. My anomalous effects have only gotten worse. They used to only have to put the reality anchors on the lowest setting. What are reality anchors?
Oh, did we cover this before? It's like shit that, or no, it's almost like Deadpool and Wolverine, like something that anchors the reality. So like if that thing is destroyed, that reality tears itself apart.
Oh, okay.
That's what I figure anyway.
All right. So yeah, if you used to have to put the reality anchors on the lowest setting, I would watch them move the bar. Mom says they're faking it. Oh, this is a kid. That's sad. Mom says they're faking it. She said they make up anomalous stuff so they can keep you longer. She said the activist group, I thought it was an R, the activist groups have released something called the Expunge Docs, and that they're proving that at least 4 sites were caught intentionally making people's effects worse, especially when the person is an anti-Foundation activist in the outside world. Several people were released and then recaptured for worsened effects, but only coincidentally when they began to speak out about what they do to us in the containment. I don't know who to believe anymore. This isn't my home. I'm going to shove this into the hole in the wall behind the bed, I guess. Well, that's sad.
There's no way in hell a kid wrote that. That is not believable at all, dude.
No, writing's too neat.
Well, and the words are too big. The sentence structure is too good. Like, no kid is going to write that way, dude.
Maybe that's their anomalous effect.
Yeah, man. It'd be like, Skippity came in and took things.
An anomaly. They're a kid and they're getting smarter.
That I can believe. That's a more believable story.
This one's too long. I don't know if I could do it. Hi, Mr. Trouse. Thank you for standing in the halls all night while one of the monsters was out. I just turned 15, and thanks to you, I didn't have to be scared all night on my birthday. Thank you for protecting me. Interesting.
That's weird.
And the agent doesn't mind doing his job. That's good. Good to know. Okay. Agent Trouse, please don't mention this note, but I was hoping you'd maybe talk to me after your shift. Can you come here off the clock, or do you get in trouble? I miss riding in your car. I hope this better not be a kid. You were the last person I was with in the outside world, and it's fucking with my head. Love, Janelle.
This is weird. What?
These are just random notes that were secured and stored
From one site.
This is kind of funny. Love, and it's, redacted. It's right there.
Really did a good job there. I wish I knew who they, who they were talking about.
This was redacted under the Trump administration. The competency just shows.
Found this in the bathroom on the right-hand side of the building in a box of shit next to the nuclear codes.
Anomaly. Object. Skip. 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 Patient. Subject. I have a fucking name. I am human.
No, you're not.
Yeah, just venting.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to beg on my knees to be treated like a person instead of an experiment. Fuck all of you. I hope every single one of you rots in hell. Signed by the Joker. Mr. J.
Mr. J.
That's correct. See, I knew it. It's Mr. J. That's all I need to see. Oh, a bunch of hearts, and then it says a complaint. So, this makes sense. I am a sapient human being who is here willingly. If asking the driver to have sex with me... if asking the driver to have sex with me, it was an offer, not a demand, is inappropriate, then fine. But don't make me talk to the ethics committee for 2 hours. I am not incapable of informed consent. And if that's against policy, that's one thing. But trying to tell me I don't control my own body is annoying as hell. I am perfectly stable, so don't be assholes. Redacted.
What the fuck is all this, dude?
Just random notes collected from March. This is the last one. I'll stop after this. As soon as I get my hands on one of you, I am taking them straight out. Once I get my hands on one of you, I am taking them straight out and into the wall. And you will hear them screaming for hours on end. Go fuck yourselves before I do. Fuck you, SCP. Redacted. That sentence didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's structured a little weird. I get it, but like it's written a little shittily. if I
get my hands on one of you, I am taking them straight out and into the wall. Like I'll put you through a wall?
Yeah, like what is them here? Is it the person that they get their hands on, or is it something else?
I was thinking it was the hands. Like I'm going to get my hands on you, but then I'm going to take them off and put them through a wall.
Yeah, I think that's how they meant it, but it's just structured a little weird.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, so that was some random notes for SCP.
There was your daily dose of what the fuck.
Yep. How we do. Keep it real.
Sorry, your weekly dose of what the fuck, and now it's time to move on to the next thing. Oh man, the SCP shit never ceases to amaze me, man. It's like it is both the best and the worst of like internet writings that you could find in one place.
Yeah. Yep. It is highbrow art.
Yeah,
very highbrow.
You just don't understand. You just don't understand. I mean, are you a fan of Rick and Morty?
Yeah. The most intellectual show ever.
Oh yeah, man.
A show that was able to troll its fan base, and they were stupid enough to fall for it. They went to McDonald's and bum rushed them for the sauce until they brought the sauce back.
It's like, it's a bunch of like sweaty neckbeards. That's who I envision being the people who got caught up in that. Like clearly you could watch the show and be a normal human being. Like you've watched the show before.
Oh yeah, I love the show. It's hilarious, but I also understand when they're making fun of people. Then when they make fun of the viewer, because they do it quite often.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people just don't seem to get that.
Yeah. Well, they also don't seem to get that if you vote for Trump or vote for any of these people, you're voting against yourself.
You lose. You lose.
But it's okay. When Democrats come back, I'll get that penny back. I mean, the next Republican will take 20 cents from me, but I'll get that penny back.
Yeah, no, you'll get the promise to get that penny back. And then when you go to fill out the forms to get that penny back, they'll tell you you're not eligible for that penny back. But they'll say that everybody else got the penny back, and you don't know what to believe because you've been gaslit into thinking your government did something good.
Yeah. They're the best.
The best. They're here for us, man. They serve the people.
All I know is the best is yet to come.
God, that dude, that was creepy. That whole thing was creepy. The way she delivered that, the best is yet to come.
Well, yeah, before you say to come, you have to like throw your hair back and forth.
Yeah, my hair is long enough. I could do that now.
Yeah.
Would you say you have to whip your hair back and forth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite song.
Oh God, now it's gonna be stuck in my head. I hate myself. Oh Christ. Oh no. Wait.
Yeah, that was really all we had for this week. If you'd be so kind, definitely go watch that video I posted this morning because that was a lovely rant. That's all it was. I just went off the deep end.
I think we need more rants.
Yeah, absolutely. They're fun to do. And it also got me to talk to somebody in the chat or somebody in the comments about another thing I could rant about, which is the people complaining about video games, like when it comes to the Harry Potter Hogwarts game or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and how stupid people are. And I love the people who say, go woke, go broke, because they did that with Mario, and man, that movie it flopped. And then the Barbie movie, it was woke, so it flopped too. They did terrible, right? They didn't just like make more money than any other movie in the past like decade.
Yeah, no. They didn't just like blow the fucking lid off of revenue, you know?
Like, go woke, go broke. But going broke means you're getting rich, so cool.
Well, everything's backwards to these fucking inbred hill folk. So
yeah, like this idiot's seriously posting like on Twitter, like every night. Like, oh, they're dropping again. They're losing all these people. And it's like, dude, it's 11:30 at night. People are going to bed. Do you not understand that? People sleep. People go night-night. When they go night-night, they turn off their computer. They stop playing the game. That's why the next day you see it hits a whole new high. The player count's like a couple thousand higher than it was yesterday. But no, they're going woke and going broke every night.
Well, it's like fucking Helldivers 2, man. If I had a penny for every time I saw a video that said, quote, "We're so back" in the title, referring to Helldivers 2, I'd be a fucking multimillionaire at this point. Like, games fluctuate. They fluctuate in players. It goes up and down. It goes up and down and up and down. And that's what happens. Also, if you're measuring a fucking game on the concurrent players and it's not a multiplayer or live service game, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Yep. God. Now, the source I would like to see do that sometime is Game Pass.
Yes, I would like to
Just
see.
I want to see how many people are playing these games. Like truly playing these games. It would just be nice to know.
Yeah. That I would actually want to see, but that would require some transparency from Microsoft, and that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
Yep. They would sooner die in battle.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I was saying, check out that rant video because it was fun.
It's good.
And it's a part 1 of 2 because I plan on doing one long one. And then 25 minutes into it, I was like, oh, God, I got to stop. Like, this is going to turn into like a hour plus video if I keep going. So there's another like 20 plus minute video coming up in a couple weeks. So look forward to that one. And then Hawk will be taking care of
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Or
Thursday.
What is this?
Just haven't canceled their subscription for a Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Like how many hours people spend using their Game Pass, and then how many people of those Game Pass buy games?
Yeah,
because I think that count is going to be 0.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It's like with the Dragon Age Veilguard, how they didn't say how many players purchased the game. They had like how many players were. How did they word it? Like interacted with the game.
Yeah.
That's not hard money. That's just people fucking not buying it, but playing it, you know?
Yeah.
But no, we have 210 subscribers as of right now. Which
nice.
Is dope. We keep creeping up. Sometimes one of our videos will perform pretty well and we'll get like anywhere from 10 to 60 subs.
Yeah.
And then we go back to our normal like lull effectively, which that's the name of the game, but it's pretty cool. I don't know if any subscribers are watching or have watched this, but it's kind of cool to say that even like we might have subscribed. I mean, Carlitos I think is subscribed to us, but might have subs watching or watching in the future. So thank you if you're new or if you've been around since the beginning and don't know us personally. We both appreciate that a lot.
Yep, absolutely. Which I think he had to go to work. It's about that time, or it's past that time for him.
It is past that time. Yeah, he bounces. So if you come back, Carlitos, thank you. We appreciate your viewership while we do the live show. It's nice.
Yep. And Gwen too. It's nice to have people to talk to.
Yeah, we do appreciate it because we've done what, like 20 shows with nobody in the chat, you know?
Yep. Yeah, we would sometimes have David stop in.
Yeah.
That would be really about it, and then he would dip.
Yeah, he'd come in at the beginning and then leave.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I mean, like, look, I don't have any expectation. Sorry, Dip to meet you. Yeah, we really appreciate everybody who watches. So thank all of you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, so we're gonna take off, and until next time, you guys take care.
Stay safe.